Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about an Amazon Prime release from earlier this year, My Spy. Before we begin, let me know in the comments if you were looking forward to this or what your thoughts were if you've seen it already, and make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews. It helps me out immensely if you do that. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, whether it be blockbusters, hidden gems, or everything in between, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right into it. This action comedy stars Dave Bautista as JJ, a CIA agent who's tasked with trying to find the plans by an illegal arms dealer for a nuclear bomb. Believe that the plans were secretly placed with the dealer's widowed sister-in-law without her knowledge, JJ and a tech operator named Bobbi, played by Kristen Schaal, are sent to keep an eye on her. However, when her daughter Sophie, played by Chloe Coleman, stumbles upon the operation, she blackmails JJ into keeping her company, and the two form a bond as he tries to continue the operation. This was originally supposed to get a theatrical release until the pandemic changed things. It got sold to Amazon, who released it on Amazon Prime back in June. It's directed by Peter Segal, who also directed Tommy Boy, as well as multiple films with Adam Sandler, including 50 First Dates. And it's essentially a take on the action star meets cute kid formula that we've seen in countless movies, like The Pacifier, Tooth Fairy, and most recently Playing with Fire. And if you've seen any of those films, or at least are aware of what that formula is, you're pretty much going to get more of the same here. You can pretty much call exactly where this movie goes from start to finish, at least in terms of story. Because the plot isn't anything out of the ordinary. You'll have some serious scenes where Bautista is trying to track the criminal down, and it'll be balanced out by a mix of funnier and sweeter scenes of either Bautista and the kid bonding, or even Bautista and Kristen Schaal bonding. Schaal has her own character arc where she idolizes Bautista's work and is trying to do anything she can to be better because of him. And I actually thought that was nice, especially because Kristen Schaal is very funny and is always nice to see pop up in a film. I will say though, unlike some of the other films that I mentioned, this actually isn't a family comedy. Tonally, I describe it more in the vein of Kindergarten Cop. The action scenes, while nothing extraordinary, are a little more intense than what you'd see in something like The Pacifier. I mean, you're not going to see blood and guts flying all over the place or anything wild like that, but they are geared slightly more to older audiences, especially as there are a lot of run-ins with this arms dealer and his associates. And while there are some setups for jokes that are pretty obvious and didn't really work for me, like Bautista and Coleman have to lie to her mom about who he is, so there are a lot of these painful misunderstandings that his character has to improvise his way through, but it's also not a film that relies heavily on things you'd see in these family comedies, like exaggerated pratfalls or characters getting hit in the groin. It relies more on Bautista's character being kind of socially awkward outside of any time he's not focused on his job. And so there will be these snippy verbal exchanges between him and some of the other characters, whether it be Coleman or Schaal or his boss, played by Ken Jeong. And some of them were pretty alright for what they were. I surprisingly laughed at this more than I thought I was going to. It certainly wasn't consistent, but whereas I thought I was going to have a horrible time walking into this, I actually had a pretty alright time with this. And that's mainly due to Dave Bautista himself. He does have an eye for comedy, and he can be very charismatic. We've seen that in his MCU films, and even in Stuber. He did a fine job there. And his great screen presence is a big reason why this movie works at all, despite the predictable nature of the story. He's very likable and he's very quick. Plus, he had some solid chemistry with Chloe Coleman, whose character had a little more of a personality than just being your typical rambunctious, out-of-control kid. Even though she blackmails Bautista into hanging out with her, she's not completely vindictive, and this is focused more on her trying to make friends and grow, rather than how many ways she can make his life a living hell. So, because there's an actual attempt at making these characters likable, I appreciated it. This isn't anything out of the ordinary. It plays upon a formula that we've seen countless times, and you can call where this story goes almost right from the start. However, it's not bad. While a lot of its jokes can miss, it does manage to hit more often than I was expecting, and when it does, it's actually fairly enjoyable. And that's due to its cast, mainly Dave Bautista, who does have some solid comedic skills that are always fun to see. It's on Amazon Prime, and while it's nothing I'd find myself rewatching anytime soon, it is an alright time, and if you're looking for something for just a casual watch, there's a chance you might enjoy this. My Spy gets a 6 out of 10. So let me know, did you see My Spy, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find it funny? Did you like the action scenes? And what's your favorite movie with Dave Bautista? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you next time.